What is going on, guys? It is Laser here with another weekend video analysis. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about where I see the price going into next week. If you watch my last 2 weeks videos, there was issues with the audio and the video because I was recording on a laptop. That's my excuse. And I didn't do enough testing. Actually, I didn't test the audio. I had the noise gate filter set wrong. And then the video before that, I didn't check the video. I just made the video. I did it in one shot, and then that was it. And then I uploaded it. Now that I'm back on my normal computer, I'm hoping everything is in the clear. And for those of you that are new here, we don't just look at NIO. We're going to look at Baidu, Baba. We're going to look at the Seng index, and we'll also look at the US dollar to try and fill in the different puzzle pieces. And I'm here to talk about where I see the stock going. Now, if you aren't already following me on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter. I post updates on a weekly basis. On Friday, I thought we could be coming close to a bottom. I want to just address immediately, because I know a lot of people like that post and they're getting excited. I want to address that at that time, I felt the bottom was in, but now that I've had time to really analyze, I don't think the bottom is in. But I do think we get a bounce next week, and let me jump in and elaborate and let you guys know. Now, if you're expecting fundamental analysis from me, I just look at TA here. So if you're just joining and watching here and you're new here, we don't really look at the fundamental analysis. And the way we do TA is we do it by looking at my custom indicator, which measures the speed and divergence, which is what we're going to do. Now, I want to just point out to let you know, the only way I could actually study this is by, or know where we are, is by studying, like, when did the rally end here on last year? Last year, we had a very similar rally, which was 100%. And I think a lot of people are looking back to that. Even myself, I was always looking to that to try and get an idea and study to see what was different. So, let's see let's just get this out of the way. When the rally was over, by the way, on the 24-hour time frame, we had a velocity break. It also broke on the price as well. It broke right around here. I'm gonna go 2 hours so we can see that nicely. Notice how it broke the trend line right there. Broke the trend line, and then it was done. Over here, notice the trend line's a little bit more narrow, not narrower. It's more flatter. So we haven't broken that. So we're still game. This thing is still alive. Hasn't broken that trend line. And from a velocity perspective, we haven't broken that. Okay, so that's two really good things. We're going to look at the 2-hour time frame. Let's look at the yellow line here for a second, guys. Pay attention. The yellow line's a 200-day moving average. Notice it made a lower low. Pardon me, a lower high. Notice over here it made a lower low. And as it broke the 200-day moving average, which was usually a shift in momentum also changing, boom, off it went. But it was actually a short rally. And there was some thinking this thing was, that was it. It was going to push higher, right? But that was all you got. Now here we are again. What's different this time on the 2-hour time frame is we have a higher high. And there's still room for it to make a higher low, which would actually be different. Now, what I'm looking for, so you guys know going into next week, is I'm looking for 2 breakouts on the velocity, and it'll be on the chart too, on the price too. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to explain it. 2 breakouts on the velocity on my indicator, and I'm looking for the first pullback after the second breakout. Make sense? Okay. Maybe it doesn't make sense. So I'll make it make sense for you guys. Here we go. This bull flag. Oops, wrong tool. Oh my God. This bull flag right over here. Let's see what we had. We had a first breakout that happened here in August, right in the beginning of August. And on the price, you could also see it clear as daylight. That was one, right? We also got a second breakout. Hey, hang on, let me just draw this out. Second breakout, right? Second. You can see this on every single time frame, every single stock. I see this pattern time and time again, and it's what we're trying to watch. After the second breakout, it was time to like start adding longs. And you got like basically a lower low, then a higher low, off it went. Boom. Ripped. Where are we now? I was calling for Friday and saying, oh yeah, we got the first breakout. I don't think so though. I've been studying this. I was wrong. I don't think we got that first breakout. Why do I think I was wrong? After closer analyzing it, I don't think it's fair to actually say like this was a breakout, even though it did moderately broke. I think it's safe to say like, okay, yeah, it did break out, but it's kind of like an anomaly. It's not a clear breakout, even on the chart. Notice that when we got this breakout, it didn't break back under. This broke out, it broke back under. So I wouldn't call that first breakout. So what I'm expecting, I'm going to use, where is it? Bars pattern. Assuming the bull thesis is alive, this would be your obvious one. That'd be one. That'd be two. And then boom. How that would look on the velocity is it would look something like this. It would break, come down. You know, there's your second one, and off it goes. Okay. That would be one. That'd be two. Off it goes. So for those of you that are like super bullish, thinking like, okay, it's gonna rip. I don't think it's gonna happen. This week on Twitter, I was saying like the bottom might be in, because usually after a first breakout, you get your bottom. But I don't think we had our first breakout, which means I don't think we got it in our bottom yet, actually. And I think that first breakout is coming. So that's not a bad thing that we haven't gotten it, but it's also good that we can, I think come to conclusion that we haven't gotten that. When we get that first breakout, we want it to look something like this. And I honestly want that to happen on Monday. I still think a gap up can happen. Usually when I see setup like this, where it's just riding down, there's going to be that big pop. Poop, it's going to pop up. And I think there could be like a 7, 8, 9% pop to 650, right? Like, let's erase all this. There's a chance that you see a gap up and it runs 11%. In the same way that this ran 13%. Okay. I think there's a chance for that. But what's different from my analysis from when I was tweeting was I was saying, oh, that's going to be the second breakout. Okay, but it's not. I don't think that was the move. I don't think that was your first breakout at all. And again, I don't think that is, because it broke back under, and it's not fair to do that, to call that a first breakout. So I think the first breakout's going to come, but I want to bring your guys' attention to this. Okay. First breakout, second breakout, and then off it went. Notice the 200-day moving average where it was after the first breakout. It was still well below here. It had time. Second breakout. So this 200 movement will drag down. It'll drag down lower. But what I'm watching for and trying to avoid, I'm trying to avoid a situation, or I'm going to be looking for it. I mean, if NIO can avoid that, great. I want to. You don't want it to see this make this obvious lower low. If it makes obvious lower low, yeah, you're going to get a run. But that is the run where you're going to probably want to be like, I'm probably looking to, look at my options. Don't want to just sit and hold, or maybe, you want to get a hedge. If that happens, we don't have that set up yet, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. From a pricing perspective, the only thing that makes sense in my head is it takes out this highs. And this has nothing to do with fib. It has everything to do with just like a cup and handle. Oh, sorry. It would be something. It would break here. It'd break above. Then you'd get your nice deep, like your cup and handle. That to me is like what makes the most sense. Like, where does this need to end? It needs to end above 780. What's right above 780? Well, there's a historic fib, I think, at like 839. Where is that? I'll show you. 1439. I'm showing this to you now. 840. That would make the most sense. Up to 840. But we need to see that lift. We got to see this type of price action. It needs to hold. It needs to hold that price action. We need to see that first breakout, that second breakout. That kind of keeps us in this range. That's what I think needs to happen. Something like that. That's what you want to see. That's the bull case. And the bear case, just look left. This is your bear case. Comes down, breaks under. You get another test here, and I'm just trying to like free sketch how this looks like. Something like that. Like it wouldn't look good. And that's not out of the equation yet. We can't get super duper confident yet. I made the mistake, by the way, for claiming this was a breakout, first breakout. It wasn't. I wouldn't call that a first breakout at all. And so we're waiting for that. And just to write that down, first breakout we want to get, and I think it comes next week. Second breakout, let's call that 2 weeks from now. And then let's just say a rally, big rally will come third week. What's 3 weeks from now? So today's the 5th. Next Friday will be the 12th. So that will be the end of the first breakout. Following Friday, the 19th, second breakout. Potentially the 26th. So middle to the end of September. That's where I'm aiming at actually here, guys. So we're still we're still a little bit away here. But again, I'm hopeful because it made a higher high here on the 200-day moving average, which is uncharacteristic and different from this rally. And it made a much more bigger base, way bigger base. This was like 10, 13 days. This was like 20 days, way stronger base. So there's still a case for the bull case, but until I get that confirmation, the bottom's not in and the rally's not ready. Anyone that is thinking or saying or telling you it's going to do this, I'm going to personally go out and say they're wrong. You're not going to get that. I don't see that. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't think you're just going to get like a straight up reversal, especially after it made a lower low. You're going to need see some healthy progress to take place on that velocity. Okay. So what I want, and I'm going to draw it again for you guys before I switch over to Baidu and Baba. Something like that. That's what we want. We want that jump and lift into 650, 660, like a nice little pop. If it does that, it's game on. But I wouldn't be buying calls here or chasing it up here either. I think it'll take time, just like it did last time, if it does that. Baidu. Man, Baidu looks fantastic. It looks so good, Baidu. You got that breakout. Next like area right over here is right around here. I could see it coming and taking out that previous high up here at 120, or even taking this. You want to get above 107 and 120. 120 would be perfect on Baidu. Looks fantastic. Looks great. Check this out. From here to here, you got that breakout and off it went. Off it's going. Baidu is looking great. Baba, by the way. Oh, hang on. Am I on logarithmic? It doesn't really change that much. Baba. It's actually broke above its channel. And it's wicking just above that. Baba looks good. Higher low on the 200-day moving average. I can see a 193 potentially at the top of this rally here. 2-hour time frame. That's another conversation to have, but you can argue that it's just getting going. I'm not going to do a deep dive on Baba. This is going to make the video way too long. From the 24-hour time frame, it looks good, you guys. Hang Seng index, it's still chopping. Take a look. Completely chopping and riding higher and grinding higher and grinding higher. And I think at some point this thing is going to tap the top of this trend line. 27, potentially 28, depending on how long it takes to get up there. If it keeps riding down the mid channel, I'm bullish. And if it does want to break above that, the upper target is 30,000. Huge rally could come to China. And let's do this real quick here. Look at that. That's incredible. Broke out of that. What does that look like? Right up there at September 30th, end of the month, 2,700. That's funny because that's right around when I was thinking NIO was going to pop potentially up if it gets you that first breakout next week, second breakout the second week, and then the final rally in that third week. It'll take you to the September 30th. That's just like my my initial thoughts. And then Dixie, man, it's a hot mess. I've never seen it kind of range in this range for so long, but it's gaining momentum to the downside. It broke the 200-day moving average. And there might be a chance where it'll break lower to 92 to 92 if it wants to do something really nasty with like rate cuts. I'm not sure how it's going to respond to that. That's the big talk. And maybe there's some rate cuts and then it pops up. I'm not going to speculate, but if it does that, that's going to support your bull case for all of your equities going higher, for crypto going higher, everything going higher. I still think that that's going to happen. That's it. That sums up my analysis. I'm hoping I've shared my thoughts as to where I see NIO going. If I haven't already said it, and I think I did, but I just want to say it one more time. Timing a reversal is one of the hardest things here. And right now the trend is very much bullish actually. And until this trend line breaks on the 24-hour time frame, it's tough to bet against it. It's tough to bet against the trend right now. The trend is your friend. And I think the trend at the moment is very, very, very bullish for NIO. It hasn't shown any signs that it's broken any type of major red flags or trends. So I'm hopeful. Let's see. Let's hope Monday starts off with a big gap up. That's it. Yeah, that wraps up my analysis, guys. If you have any questions because I missed it, and I probably missed some things, please ask questions below. I'll do the best I can to answer them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you really enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button to support my channel. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and cheers.